When the MP45 was unveiled for a pre-season testing, it was instantly on the pace, as well as reliable, and looked like a car to beat in the new season, which allowed McLaren to take 10 victories during the season, a total of 6 wins for Ayrton Senna and 4 for Prost. This was at a time when the relationship between the two men was at breaking point, so their rivalry pushed the development of the car far ahead of the other teams as they tried to outdo each other. Although Senna had more wins, he also had a string of retirements, many more than Prost, mostly down to engine failures while leading, which cost him vital points. However, Senna and Prost's combined points total meant McLaren easily won a second straight Constructors' Championship. The rivalry between Senna and Prost intensified into battles on the track and a psychological war off it. By October, Alain Prost was confirmed as 1989 World Formula One Motor Racing Champion when Ayrton Senna's disqualification from the Japanese Grand Prix was confirmed. At Suzuka, a race he had to win to stay in the running for the world title, Senna was involved in an accident with race leader Prost. Senna had attempted an inside pass when Prost turned into the corner and cut him off, with the two McLarens finishing up with their wheels interlocked in a Suzuka chicane escape road. Senna was also fined $100,000 and given a 6 months temporary suspension of his super license for dangerous driving. The severe punishments were announced at a news conference by International Automobile Federation Director Jacques Sarraute. Jean-Marie Balestre, president of the International Motorsports Federation, which control the Formula One circuit, told the same news conference the Brazilian had received his heavy penalties for dangerous driving. Balestre had harsh words too for McLaren manager Ron Dennis, who called a news conference in London to reveal a FISA report which had been presented to the appeal tribunal, calling for heavier penalties on Senna. He accused Dennis of trying to prejudice the appeal by threatening to take the matter to a French civil court if Senna's disqualification was upheld. He said McLaren risked suspension from the World Championship if they pursued the action. In Australia, for the last round, Alain Prost launched an outspoken attack on Senna, claiming the Brazilian was a danger to the other racers because his faith in God made him believe he was indestructible. Not taking the criticism lightly, Senna in a television interview vowed to continue the fight. "It's a question of justice," he said. "What happened in Suzuka and now Paris is totally unfair. It is a totally unacceptable situation."
Este é o acidente de Senna com Prost no GP de Suzuka, no Japão, que iniciou toda a briga. Prost abandonou depois da batida, mas Senna voltou e venceu a corrida. Porém, a FISA anulou sua vitória, alegando que o brasileiro tinha feito uma manobra proibida. Prost ficou com o título. Revoltado com a decisão, Senna passou os meses seguintes brigando com os dirigentes. Mas sua maior reação veio no campeonato de 90, com a conquista do bi. Senna faz a pole position, mas está de mau humor na hora da largada. Um acordo dizia que o pole poderia escolher de que lado largar. Senna preferia ficar por fora, onde a pista tinha menos sujeira. Não deixaram e ele teve que largar por dentro. Prost, o segundo no grid, aproveitou a melhor tração e tomou a frente na largada. Senna busca a parte interna da pista. Prost faz a tomada e Senna não tira o carro, batendo na traseira da Ferrari. Os dois vão para fora da pista. É o fim do campeonato. Veja no replay por outro ângulo. Prost está melhor. A Ferrari se prepara para fazer a curva e Senna enfia o bico da McLaren. Já de volta aos boxes, Senna dá uma improvisada entrevista ao chefe de equipe Ron Dennis.
Ayrton Senna, I've heard that you've recently run the World Championship. Have you got something to say about this?
It's over. I think for sure I want to win the race today in the same way I won in '88 to win the championship. Unfortunately, it went wrong on the first corner. There was a big risk. I had nothing to lose on the first corner. I want to win, and I went for a gap in inside on the first corner. Alan didn't see it and just closed the door, and we ended up touching. That's too bad for the championship, because I'm sure the race would have been full of excitement. But last year I lost in a similar manner towards the end of the race instead of the beginning, and this year went wrong for him. In a race like this, where you're fighting for the championship, you have to go for everything. And as it happened in many other occasions in the past, there have been accidents in the first corner. I was on pole. Prost did a better start, but on the first corner I was coming faster than him. I had a better engine acceleration, and there was a gap. I went for it. He closed the door, and then was nothing I could do to avoid the contact. If he had not closed the door, nothing would have happened, and we would have continued racing. But unfortunately, he closed the door, and I could not avoid the